Yeah, we are looking at the topic today, raising children who don't quit. I think we need to go back and look at all the situations in our lives where we have wanted to quit, but we did not. What kept us going? We'll have some message, some idea for us to implement that with our children. We were having a conversation with my fitness coach, and she was like, there's no way I could have quit doing this exercise, the fitness regime. She got into fitness because she got into some physical problems, and at early age, around early to mid 30s, she could not even walk 50 feet, she said. That is when she realized this is not going to work. I cannot quit on the strength, the stamina, myself, right? So there has to be some, unfortunately for us who have ignored um, not quitting as a strength, uh, we must face with some life-threatening situations where something drastic is going to happen if I don't do it. That is when most of us in my age, we go to the doctor. You have diabetes, whatever. You got to walk, and we start walking. Somewhere we don't want to quit because there is a fear of something more bad going to happen. And children have somehow got it in this modern era, where everything is so instant. As human race, we had to wait for everything, even like 5, 10 years ago. We were preparing food at home. We had to wait until the food was cooked. We had to wait until the letters arrived. This is about 15, 20 years ago. We had to wait for the clothes to be given back by the tailor. We had to wait, we had to persist. We couldn't just quit and walk away. Right now, I can walk into one store, I don't get my size, I walk into another store, I quit one store, I go to another store. Instantly, I get the size I want, the color I want, the fabric I want for any occasion. That instantaneousness has somehow crept into our lives, is especially the children, because they've never encountered waiting aspect at all. They were born into this digital era. They see us also not waiting, and if something comes into my head, I quickly go get onto my Amazon and order, right? Otherwise I quit, I go to another platform, Flipkart, another platform, whatever, right? So somewhere to develop that grit, that strength, that will is my job as a parent and as a teacher now. It's not that every successful child will become confident, so I want my child to be successful, so I enroll him in several different classes, they get marks. No, you see many cases now, the toppers who performed really well lose heart. Somewhere I need to have survived a struggle. I need to go through that struggle, wait for it, do it again, fall back again. That is where my confidence is getting built. Because I know I've been through it, I've done it. Any solid practices that you take, like performing arts, fitness, karate, martial arts, anything, you have to keep going back and keep doing it. Somewhere you are training your body to get back into that posture and to give that one kick. If you are doing karate, that is the struggle to begin with, until my body aligns, until my mind aligns. Because I cannot download something for my body to perform, to be the best karate performer today. Right? So every challenge that I face, it's like laying one brick after the other in my own self-belief that yes, I can do it. I can survive through this. I can take on the challenge. And that I need to create for my children. Just observe the nature. This is something we need to do with children. Get out there, observe what's happening. Does the tree give away the fruit instantly? Of course, we have gotten those instant, quicker trees that give fruits also. But like observe an ant, you see that all the time. You give some food, lay out some sugar there, it will pick the sugar up and it will start going. You put a little drop of water, it will go around it. You put a little scale to stop it, it will go around it. It doesn't ask, why me? Why am I stopped? Will this problem ever end? It will just keep finding new ways. And build up a story around it as you work, as you are with the child. Am I something like this? Can we try this? You try to reach me, there's a goal. I keep putting hurdles in your way. Can you go around without losing heart? You get tired? Take a break, but come around. Try to see if you can climb, if you can cross, if you can crawl to get to the destination. Can we do that? Some of these I need to do it deliberately. I cannot be this providing answer quickly. I don't want my child to suffer. I want an easy solution. I find things for them. I do things for them. Because I don't want their path to be difficult ones. But right now we need to look at not the path but the goal. Somewhere if I'm too busily providing everything along the path, I may never reach my goal. I may never have that grit to sustain the weight to reach the goal. And this is something I saw when I used to train children in engineering colleges. Everybody was so fascinated by Narayan Murthy and Malya at that time. They wanted to be like them. Have this loads of shares in my account, my net worth to be several thousand crores or whatever. But the path to get there wasn't easy for them. And we never talk about that. Narayan Murthy once went broke. He thought he had to fold up. And many successful people have had these stories. That grit is what I need to teach. I need to teach my children to be resourceful, go figure out, go talk to people. This is the first and second stage of child development, until the child is about 14 years of age. First stage is till 7, where we give them lots of physical movements and exercises, and I become worthy of imitation for them. And second stage is from 7 to 14 years of age, when the child goes through their adolescence and they're unsure of themselves. Lots of things are happening in their body. And now with external stimulus, it's really difficult for them to maneuver through it. So I need to become a loving authority during that time. These 14 years, if I can truly work and ask myself, how strong is my child becoming? A friend may quit them, he may fail an exam, he may not win a competition. What is the child getting from all of this? Can the child still have trust in their ability to put efforts, not the outcomes? Right? The strength is in trying again. It's not that I should not fail. Try again. It's not that I should be disappointed. But how do I recover from that disappointment? Assuring my child that I'm with you, go ahead with it. I'll support, but you need to do the work. I'll drive you to the ground, but you need to run. I'll buy you the books, but you need to study. We can discuss, we can debate. I can be there with you to see if you have any doubts and resolve it, but don't give it instantly. Nudge them. That thinking ability is something I need to develop. That remaining hopeful and not giving up is something we need to build. That's the strength. Facing the difficulty again and again and making that maybe very, very minimal progress, but I am making the progress. That gives me the confidence. Any of these physical exercises are beautiful examples. I go to the gym, I go to my fitness center. I won't lose weight in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 3 months. And I won't lose weight if I don't consistently do my exercises. My coach keeps telling 4 days a week, minimum you got to do. Minimum 3 reps. Repetition is important for everything. And we see that tangibly in the physical body. That's why we can kind of believe it. But same thing with internally, whatever is happening through me, inside me, right? That is something that will take time. I need to wait. I need to persevere. Just like everything took time in the olden days and we are comfortable with it, I need to slow down. I don't need to buy something instantly that I wanted. Put it out in the cart and leave it. Go back and look at it. Do you really want it today also? Maybe do it 3 times. Maybe the third time you're there, you may not want it. Do I have something to replace? Let's say I want a specific kind of a pen and I can order it like 1 day delivery. Put it in the cart. Go back. Do I really want it? Can something else replace it? Can I borrow for somebody? Maybe it's just one little sketch I want. Can I borrow from a friend? Develop that network with friends where we can exchange some things, borrow some things. There's a big movement happening called sisterhood, where people, if I don't use the stop anymore, I can put it up and people will take it from me. We exchange. That used to be the case when I was growing up. And I would happily borrow something, a nicer outfit from my cousin, wear it for an event, give it back to her. And it's back in trend now. You don't have to get instantly, even though you have money. Look about the bigger purpose. I don't want to contribute to the pollution. I want to take care of earth. Bigger vision will help me develop, go through that struggle of even asking, can I borrow your outfit? It's not that children are becoming weaker. They are not receiving enough opportunities to practice that perseverance. We are there to help them instantly. Beat their exams. I see many parents carrying the bags when they drop off the children to school. Many parents who will make the plate ready and give it to the child. Please eat. We never let child become hungry. Not just physical hunger. There is no hunger because everything is so instant. If not you, I'll get somewhere. If not now, I'll eventually get it. Midnight, 2 o'clock, I can order from Zomato. I don't need to eat right now with the family. So create those opportunities. Don't try to rescue the child. Let them go through the struggle. And it's not that you're sitting and enjoying them struggling. You work with them. Right? We don't need to be perfect. We need to be present. And somewhere this fear causes a big blunder, the fear of failure, fear of abandonment, rejection. Work with that. Is the child suffering from some fear of failure that he or she is not willing to put that effort and will quit easily? Give up even before trying because I'm failing anyway. Might as well fail without doing it. So that grit is built through doing. I got to do. So as child, they need to knead the dough, they need to sweep the floor, they need to mop it, they need to water the plants, they need to do all of that. I could afford a maid, but then what am I doing with my children? My children need faith from me, my trust in them saying, I know this is hard. It's not going to be easy, but keep going. You will find a way out. If a child can hear this from the parent, where a parent is allowing the child to struggle a little longer, and we celebrate that effort. My God, you put in effort. That was important. And I failed because I did not put effort. I did not I did not care for this enough. Share those stories of failure that we all have. Give child the real opportunities to carry that bag, to make a plan for a party. It might not work at all, but that's fine, right? Definitely not overpraising. This is where my inner work lies. To be with the child, to see the child build that confidence through doing, allowing them, not me getting into my own comparisons of my friends, with my relatives, saying that, I should not be blamed as a bad parent. Understanding the deeper requirement and the goal I have for my child. Not just because I love them, but because I truly want them to be independent, caring human beings. So I need to be there to provide them opportunities for them to struggle through a little bit longer, feel the accomplishment for themselves so they can build confidence and they don't give up. Thank you.